Pancho? Word origins and their romantic stories. Ooh. Funk. Honey to the rescue. Trapped in my car, upside down at the bottom of a ravine. Who would save me? By Michael Bosch, Nicasio, California. My new dog Honey trotted after me as I walked to my Toyota 4Runner that fall morning. I'd had her only a couple of weeks, but we've become nearly inseparable. I'd survived heart surgery a few months back. I figured taking care of a dog would keep me active. My wife's job took her out of that. Frick! Frick you! I'm getting a shower. Holy frick, I'm lightheaded. Frick! Oh, yeah, frick, fall on the ground, I don't care. God. No, I don't get the point of cleaning my room, because it's just freaking useless. Every time I clean it, it just gets dirty. Because it's not my fault, it just happens. I don't understand. It's like a quantum error in the universe. Jacob's room will forever be dirty and he can't do anything about it. That's what that is. Great. Now I gotta go get wet and clean myself with soap. Where the heck is the light switch? Okay. Alright, fine, I'll finish the dang story, but you have to look at this disturbing picture the entire time. You're welcome. Honey to the rescue. Trapped in my car upside down at the bottom of a ravine. Who would save me? By Michael Bosch, Nicasio, California. My new dog, Honey, trotted after me as I walked my... Dang it, I just spilled my popsicle stick all over the place. Whatever. My new dog, Honey, trotted after me as I walked to my Toyota 4Runner that fall morning. I'd had her only a couple of weeks, but we'd become nearly inseparable. Oh, I'd survived. Frick. I'll finish it. I'll do it. I'll finish it. I will. I'll really do it, man. It's so hot in this freaking house. Yeah, eat your leaf, mother trucker. Okay. Honey to the gosh darn rescue. My new dog, Honey, trotted after me as I walked to my Toyota 4Runner that fall morning. I'd had her only a couple of weeks, but we'd become nearly inseparable. I'd survived heart surgery a few months back. I figured taking care of a dog would keep me active. My wife's job took her out of town a lot, and I could use the company. So I went to the local animal rescue center. The little cocker spaniel quivering in a cage caught my eye right away. I leaned over to get a closer look. She had scared eyes. I could tell she longed to be picked up and hugged. I went to talk to the shelter worker. She just came in. The woman told me her name is Honey, 5 months old. The owner said she couldn't take care of her anymore. The worker opened Honey's cage and let me pick her up. I stroked her silky fur and cooed. What does cooed mean? Coooed. Cooed. I don't know. She stopped shaking and let me pick her up. I stroked her silky fur and cooed. Okay, she stopped shaking. Hair is on the page. Get it off. Yeah. The two of us went out on the side yard, where I picked up a small... There's a freaking hair in my mouth. I swallowed it. No, I didn't. Did it, like, grab onto my dang tongue or something? I don't know. Shoot. I sat down to watch Honey race after the ball. Ears flopped all the way. She came flying back toward me, ball in mouth, and leaped right... Oh, freaking ripped it apart. I ripped the 2 pages in half. Whatever. She leaped right into my lap. That was that. I I filled out the necessary paperwork and took Honey home. She followed me like a She followed me. I can't read. She followed me like a shadow from the very first day. She loved to snuggle on my lap while I watched dogs crackle in the fireplace. Logs crack. I read that as dogs. I'm like, why would you have dogs crackling in the fireplace? It's so morbid. Yeah, so I put dogs in the fireplace, just like you said. What? You mean logs, right? No, dogs. I said logs. Oh, so... Okay. Yeah, I was wondering why they were whining so much. What the... Okay, so... Logs crackle in the fireplace. The only thing better was when she kept my feet warm by sleeping at the foot of the bed. That October morning last year, I took Honey with me while I ran some errands. My wife was away for a few days, and I hated the thought of leaving Honey alone. I grabbed my keys and made sure I had my nitroglycerin tablets. Isn't that this explodey stuff? Isn't that the stuff that you can't... I opened the Forerunner's door. Come on, Honey, let's go. She jumped into the cab and settled down on the passenger seat. I got behind the wheel and started the SUV. SUV. It was always tricky turning the car around. We live in a remote area in the hills outside San Rafael, California, surrounded by towering redwoods. You have to drive up the mountain in a low gear to our driveway, which is barely wide enough for one car, and end at a steep drop-off. So your car... You have to... Well, I guess I'd never go to your house. If I had to drive like 2 inches off from a cliff, I ain't doing that. Nope. I twisted around and backed up slowly, then a flash of sunlight blinded me. I put my hands up to shield my eyes. I felt a jolt as the left rear section of the USV dropped. Oh no, the edge. Yeah, that's what you get for living near a freaking cliff, idiot. You're gonna fall down there one of these days. It's gonna happen. Why the frick would you live there? Freaking idiot. I felt the jolt as the left rear... yeah, I read that already. I'm stupid. The car slipped in the soft soil and rolled. I hadn't put on my seatbelt yet. I was waiting to finish turning around. Now, I tumbled inside the SUV and as it somersaulted down the ravine. Branches snapped. The Forerunner rolled faster, 4, 5, 6 rolls until I heard a horrible crunch. A giant limb plunged through the roof, hit my leg and chest. You mean a limb of a tree? A giant limb plunged through the roof, hit my leg and chest, then embedded in the dash. We landed upside down. I felt a searing pain in my chest. I was pinned. I looked over to find Honey. She was still in the passenger seat, and thank God she was okay. How the heck did you survive that? You're freaking lucky. Your dog's more lucky. I mean, a human. Just, yeah. Okay. She was okay, shook up though. Sorry, girl, I gasped. What? Bro. You're apologizing to your dog for accidentally falling down a cliff in your SUV? You shouldn't apologize to your dog. You should apologize to yourself. You shouldn't apologize. Number one, it was an accident. Number two, who would you be apologizing to? Your dog? Okay, whatever. Sorry, girl, I gasped. I tried to see if I could unpin myself from behind me, from the behind the wheel. I cried out from the pain. It was no use. It's no use. Something was wrong with my leg. I grabbed my cell phone and dialed 911. Please, God, let the call go through. The phone beeped twice, just as I feared. I couldn't get a signal at the bottom of this ravine. Man, go on satellite. Stop using that crappy Wi-Fi. I'm kidding. Of course he was using satellite. Or maybe he could have used Wi-Fi and then he could have connected to the Wi-Fi. I don't know. Shut up. The phone beep. Now what? I figured we were at least 50 feet down. Robin, my closest neighbor, lived a quarter mile uphill from me. Uphill? That cliff goes further up? What the heck is wrong with y'all people? And had her own driveway. There was no reason she or anyone else would drive up to my house. And if someone did, they wouldn't see the wreck. My chest hammered. Calm down, I told myself. I had stents in my heart after all. I couldn't afford to panic. Man, you are one lucky son of a mother trucker. I mean, geez, you groped in your shirt pocket. I groped in my shirt pocket and pulled out the nitro tablets. I took one, slipped it under my tongue, and took a deep breath. My heartbeat slowed, but I still had a pain in my chest. It must have been some ribs. Honey whimpered. At least I could get her out of there. There was a hole in the driver's side near rear window. It was small, but just maybe. Come on, girl, I said painfully. I reached over and picked her up. I gently put her through the hole, careful not to get her too close to a jagged edge. I got her fanny through and gave her a pat. Go home, baby. She jumped to the ground and raced up the side of the ravine. Great, now your dog abandoned you. I know that's probably not the end of the story. Your dog goes and gets help, but I mean, if I was in that situation and my dog just left me, I'd be like, bruh, can you like bite this tree limb a few times, at least try to get me out of this situation? But you know, it's a Cocker Spaniel, not a German Shepherd. Must have, my heart pounded like a jackhammer, so I took another pill. Man, you're not supposed to overdose, dude. You're gonna die. Okay. Maybe the horn. I tried it, but I couldn't reach around the limb. I shouted, but I knew that wouldn't make any difference. No one would hear. I sat there for hours. My ribs throbbed, but by now, I knew for sure I'd busted some. Okay, fan, can you stop blowing the page out of my hand, please? Thank you. The pain was so bad, and I couldn't feel anything in my left leg. If I ever got out of this mess, I'd probably lose it. I'd be one. I'd be a one-legged guy with a bum heart and a cocker spaniel. Honey, had she made it up the ravine safely? Had she found her way home? She hardly knew the area. What would happen to her? Dogs are smarter than y'all think, bruh. So, the last bit of light filtering through the leaves faded away. Now, with the sunset, the air turned cold. I shivered. Maybe Honey would get help. Who was I kidding? Stuff like that only happened in movies. What is it, Lassie? Oh my god! I have a book called Lass. Is Jimmy in trouble? I don't get it. Honey was probably lost in the woods, and I had gotten her into this mess. You didn't get yourself in. You didn't get your dog into this mess. Gravity got you both into this mess, and then you decided to let your dog ditch you. You know. So yeah, I felt my heart start racing again. Help me stay calm, Lord. You've given me a good life, a great wife, that rhymed, a great little dog. Watch over them if it's my time. And if not, please help me. Please help me out of this. So I tried. Oh, so tired. I gotta read another chapter of The Shining after this, so that's great. So tired, my pulse was weakening. All I had to do was close my eyes and slam. I jolted awake with a noise. So you were about to frickin' die. If I was in that situation, I would try to break the tree limb that was jabbing into your chest. You know? So I could at least try to get out of there. Instead of just accepting my death. But, you know, I'm not in your situation, so I don't know how painful you were in. Was that a car door? Help, I shouted with all my strength. Help. A voice answered, who needs help? It was Robin, my neighbor. It's me, Mike, I yelled back. Down here, call 911. It seemed only minutes later that I heard the throb of a helicopter blades overhead. The rescue crew landed and made their way down to me. It took them 45 minutes to cut me out of the SUV and get me up the ravine. We flew to the hospital in the helicopter. I got all sorts of tests, X-ray and IV. I'd broken 5 ribs and there was an internal bleeding and some serious muscle damage in my leg. It'll take a while to recover, Nero, doctor told me, but you're going to be okay. What about Honey? I asked Robin. She's fine, Robin said before they wheeled me to my room. I wouldn't be going anywhere for a while, so the next day a friend brought Honey to the hospital. She got right up next to me on the bed and snuggled close. With her there, it felt as though my pain disappeared. It was the strangest thing, Robin told me later. I got home from work and Honey was waiting for me. She got all agitated and ran in circles, like she was trying to tell me something. She was frantic. Robin figured she'd bring Honey back to my house, and that's when she heard me yell. How that little dog knew what to do and where to go is beyond me. She had never been over to Robin's house. I think your dog was out some nights doing something she wasn't supposed to over here at your friend's house. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Whatever. And here's the kicker, maybe. One day not long ago, I was looking through her papers, which the shelter had sent me. She originally had a different name. Can you guess? Angel. but I already knew that. That was cheesy, and I didn't like that part. That was a pretty cool story. The yeah, yeah, that was a pretty cool story. I liked it. Sorry that you had to go through that, and you made the bad decision to live right next to a cliff and fell down it in your car. But yeah, I really feel bad for you in that part. But that's a cool story. And the ending where it said her name was originally Angel. Yo, dog ain't an angel. Stop.